Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another live stream of Ultimate General Civil War. Nope, not a new campaign. Of course, we continue with the Union campaign. And Dabek, ahoy, Captain. Nice to have you here again. I expected you in a time long gone, in a galaxy far away right now. The nicer that you made it here. Yeah. Ah, Kapitän, nice to have you back too. So now I have two captains in my stream. Yeah, one captain from from private and the captain from the Netherlands. So lovely to have you back. Lovely to have you back. So today we head for the Battle of Stones River, pardon. And let's just have a short look. I think we can bring 3 corps. So this is the moment. Yeah, 3 corps with 20 brigades. So no need to fill up the reserve. But yeah, no need to fill up the reserves. But of course we need to bring up some of our troops. I'm really fine, Kapitän, thank you. I hope the same for you. So first we need to replace a lot of officers after the bloody battle of Fredericksburg we had last stream. So I'm really sad about some of the losses. So Reynolds dead, Krzyzanowski dead, the funny Polish origin guy commanding this brigade. Lots of replacements necessary. But first of all, Lieutenant General George B. McClellan has an upgrade. So busy days at work, Captain. Yeah, that's the same. That's the same with me right now. So a lot to do today, and the more I'm enjoying the evening now. And let's do a bit of a grand style and have a drink. Although we history enthusiasts know that this was widely discussed, how much Grant really drank. So it's more speed and stamina or defender, cover and melee. So George B. McClellan was never ever an attacker, so let's upgrade his defense. That's good. And we need 1 division commander, 2 division commander. This is... losses were just horrible. Do we have any major generals? Barton here, and Quinn. So we definitely do not need... Cheers, Kapitän. We definitely do not need a major general commanding 2 batteries of howitzers or commanding a sharps equipped cavalry. That's just not necessary, by no means. So, and what else do we have? Is there no? There's no major general in charge of a brigade. Same here. So this is all right. So then the moment has come to replace Quinn with Mott's riders, and Barton will be replaced by Bartlett. It at least sounds similar. Good. So then Mike Quinn will become division commander here. And where's the other division commander needed there? So after this done, the Iron Brigade needs new troops. So they get McDowell. Okay, they stay the Iron Brigade. That's good. They definitely need reinforcements. That's so horrible. They lost badly in the charge on not Telegraph Road, not Mary's Heights. Where did they go? How was the position called at Fredericksburg? The first flag point contested. I don't know. So let's use this one. So sadly, lads, it's a bit of organization work now, but Kapitän, you know this because you know the game very well. And yes, it's just necessary, as we know. Although it's not that interesting. So I will do the upgrade of the officers now. I will... there we need a replacement too. Let's go for this major. Don't care really about those 4th Corps right now. And we will do all the upgrades for the troops. That's necessary. Oh, this is a battery, so morale, efficiency, stamina, efficiency. Let's go for stamina. I think this makes them move, and since this is the reserve corps and always moves up late in battle, if it even appears, then let's better give them some stamina. But on the other hand, I do not care that much about it, to be honest. Okay, so that's it. Then we have this core. So I must say, I like this organization part of the game, but on the other hand, I liked it more in Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail. So managing those single ships. So when you have 20 or 24 brigades in one corps, it becomes fast annoying to click around them. But at Ultimate Admiral, it was pretty nice. You had your favorite ships, the ones that accompanied you from the beginning, and it was really nice to upgrade them. So Kapitän, you said you are not the guy of the slow-paced sea battles of Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail, and I can totally understand this, but as I said last time, I really loved it. And I definitely want to redo the game. I still need to play the British campaign of Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail, but as I said, I first need a British uniform somehow. And I have a pattern bought already. I've selected some fine cloth. So I had some examples of cloth, and rotation speed. This is good. So I have selected the cloth I want to buy, but I have not yet bought it, and I fear a bit starting to sew it because I'm not a tailor at all. I just can follow the instructions of the sewing instruction. The steps can follow the steps of the sewing instruction, and hope in the end I have a piece of cloth that I can wear. So I have seen this this upcoming game about the American Revolution. So I probably we both have seen the video of the history guy. Since you told me last time that you also know him and also like him, and it's absolutely the same with me. I think he has amazing content for history buffs like us. Yeah, and I struggle a bit with it. So it's cool that they bring out this game. I love many aspects they bring in newly. Yeah, let's upgrade this. I have 2 points available. Then let's go for this. Let's try to bring economy, medicine, and training up simultaneously. Logistics, I have not that much need now in the reconnaissance. It's nice to see what the enemy has, but it's not important. Yeah, that's a problem. So the stats of the computer, this might be a problem, of course. So what bothers me always a bit is this over-exaggeration of, I must be honest, this over-exaggeration of American history in such games. So, well, of course, there are lots of people in the United States playing games, and it's perfectly fine covering their history, but So Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail was the perfect example. So they had two campaigns. They had the British one and they had the American one. And and I played the American campaign, and it's all settled around the life history of Captain John Paul Jones, this famous commander, and he did his heroic deeds. Absolutely true, no problem with this. But the game is set like that. In the mid game you get the first ships of the line, and then you get more. And in the end, I commanded like 10 ships of the line for the U.S. Navy, and this is just nonsense because they never ever had a ship of the line in the War of Independence. They did not even have in the War of 1812 or whatever. They did have some ships of the line in the mid 19th century, but they did not need them because there was no war to fight, and when the Civil War started they were outdated. So they made a huge ship of the line campaign around the American Revolutionary Naval War, but there was no evidence for this. There's no historical basic for this. And so I always ask, why don't they do a Spanish campaign or a French campaign in those days? So you so often control French ships in this American campaign because that's where the ships of the line came from that fought for the Americans in the War of Independence. And so this is something I do not understand. So why do I have to make such big deal of American history? There are better examples across the world in Europe or in the Caribbean or whatever. So when it comes to naval warfare in the Age of Sail, you could do much more than a British and a US campaign. So that's a bit what I wonder. And a bit same with the War of Independence. So it's perfectly fine to cover it in a game. I like it, and I probably will try to play it. But why aren't there similar games about the Napoleonic Wars? So there's not the audience for this. Yeah, but that makes me a bit sad, and this is kind of a rant now. So of course game developers need to look at their economics and need to sell the game. I totally understand this, but in my opinion it's not wise to focus that much on. I think you need to balance it wisely. Do I follow the trends, or do I have the courage and set new trends and cover epochs that are not that well known but might be interesting? But so I think it's about making the game, and the game will only be a game when it gets more difficult further in the campaign. It's hard then to make it. That's true. Yeah, of course. But you could make this. My point is, at Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail, you could make this with a French campaign or a Spanish campaign or whatever. I think there are enough examples in the late 18th century to cover them. So just look at the wars the French and British fought in the 18th century. There would be so much cover. So I also don't know if it's made by Americans, but I think they look for the biggest audience. And okay, we all understand that there are lots of people in the States playing games, and of course they want to play their own history. I get it somehow, but if they always only stick in their own history with their Civil War and their War of Independence and the World Wars, then lots of interesting periods get lost. So, and the Napoleonics. Here, we guys in Europe, no European countries' history would be the same if the Napoleonic Wars and the French Revolution did not have taken place. So you in the Netherlands know this. We in the German region know this. I'm from Bavaria. We became a kingdom under Napoleon and stayed it till the end of World War I. Look at the Polish. Look at the Spaniards who fought against Napoleon. Look at the French themselves, of course. The British, the Russian. What is now Austria. So this time had such a huge impact on so many people, and more people than in the States. So why not covering the European history of the 18th, 19th century in the same way than covering the American history? So, and I say this because I'm a big Napoleon buff. So that's basically the thing. So I think I will like to play this game about the Civil War, the War of Independence too. I don't think that I will miss it, because I like many of the new aspects. So there I need 10 brigades to defend. So let's switch back to the camp for a moment. Let's see which... This corps looks quite strong right now. But they have some good brigades, and they need some... I will use this first corps for the upcoming minor battle. And I will try to... This costs a hell of a lot again. I don't want, but I need. I hate it so much. So Fredericksburg was in... Regarding the casualties, it was a nightmare. It was definitely a nightmare. So... Yeah, so... So it's interesting. So especially when you look at Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail. I totally love this game. I just said it before. Oh, those are the Fighting Historians' owns. They get veterans, of course. They get veterans. So Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail. I did never realize how small the role of the American Navy was in this war. So they built up some frigates. They ordered 13 frigates at the beginning of the war. And they, most of them were finished indeed. But they, of course, they did not play a large role. They had some raids and they took some prizes. That's all pretty fine. But against the Royal Navy with their ships of the lines and stuff like this, of course, they did not have a major impact on the outcome of the naval operations. So the naval operations only changed when the French came in with their large fleets, and the Battle of Chesapeake Bay, the decisive naval battle of the War of American Independence, it was totally fought by French ships of the line. So John Paul Jones, this captain, had his actions, no doubt about it, absolutely fine. But yeah, it's just those were minor raids, and they blew it all up to a gigantic naval campaign. So in the end, I had 10 American ships of the line and 8 French ships of the line against 15 British. What's that? Where is the history in this? So this is something I don't understand. Especially, I don't understand it because you could do the same scale of battles and campaign development if you go for French or Spanish. At least they did the British too, but yeah, I think you get my point, and sorry for ranting about this. It's time to start a battle now, because... So I think as a guy who is so much into European history also, I just would love to have more coverage of it in the games. So I'm so much waiting for a Total War title set in the 19th century. Let's say second half of the 19th century. You don't need to cover from Napoleon's abdication to 1850. You do not need to cover this really, because there was a large period of peace in Europe. But let's say you start from 1850 to 1900. And you make it like Empire Total War. You have Northern America in it, Mexico, Central and parts of Latin America. Then you have Africa you should include somehow. Then maybe even something in the Far East, direction China or something like this. At least parts. And of course Europe. And what a campaign this would be. You have the Crimean War, you have the War of the War of Secession. You could cover the Wars of German unification against Denmark, Austria, France, and then all the stuff in northern Italy, Solferino and all those battles. So there would be so much to cover. And it would be just awesome. And it would still stick to the line infantry and cavalry battles mostly. So it was not yet the First World War where you had the trenches and the shit. You could totally do it with the Total War playstyle. Yeah. Sorry. Let's do a battle. Damn. Okay. We are transporting precious ammunition and wagon supplies to our armies operating in the Tennessee region. We established a temporary supply station at Parker's Farm in this road junction. There we will meet with the rest of our brigade, and then we will head to Nashville to prepare our offensive in the Western Theater. That looks fabulous. The notorious cavalry commander Nathan Forrest is raiding the West Tennessee, and it seems we have become his target. Our pickets spotted his dismounted cavalrymen approaching us from all sides. So, okay, dismounted cavalry. You must hold the form and all supplies stored. Those weapons must not fall into enemies' hands. Quickly take defensive options behind defenses. Yeah, that should be not that big. Really? Okay, we expect reinforcements in about 2 hours. There's hope that we can win this battle if we can hold long enough. Okay. Yo, then let's just do it. First, dispatch skirmishers from all units, since it's always good having some extra cover. Let's bring them into the center, them too. They will head there, they will head there, they head there. So they stay in reserve, they secure, no, the fighting historians own stay in reserve. And let's see what can we do with the skirmishers for now. So as I told you, Captain, I only played the Union campaign once so far, and I did not even finish it. So I think I went to Chickamauga, probably. I think I did Chickamauga, and I think then I became scared of Cold Harbor, and I just did not want to play fucking Cold Harbor. Yeah, this nightmare of a battle for the Union. For the Confederates it was yeah, it's close, but the war gets so nasty at the end. Oh, here they come already. Good, then let's... Ah, here they are too. Yeah, but so you know the game pretty well, and you know that the battles get nastier and nastier the longer the war goes, and yeah, the thing is, it's so ugly, the casualties climb extremely high. You of course know this, and yeah, it's just not funny doing this. It's just not funny. Yeah, it's just because somehow the weapons get better, the casualties increase, so you cannot any longer move in the open. You always need to stick to your fortifications. You need to cross through the woods, which is perfectly fine, which totally makes sense, but yeah, so it's not that nice movement warfare of the beginning, definitely. So I think the 3rd Kentucky Cavalry learned their lessons. Oh, damn it, you should not do this. Okay, they retreat, but we just try to keep them. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I even had fun playing the assault on Washington with the Confederates. So I thought this was absolutely not historical, but yeah, the war needs to end somehow, of course. So that's a bit crazy. So you play all the battles that happened historically, and nevertheless you can come to. So you play the exact same war, and it depends on the end whose side is winning. That's a bit strange, but anyway. So nevertheless, it's an amazing game. Oh, there are some more troops. Okay, there they come. 20th Tennessee, and even more Tennessee units. Interesting. So then we send those guys back to post, and we should keep them in reserve and move up with Case a bit. Why not? What the hell? Yeah, I think so. I think that Richmond is tough. It should be. to be honest. Ah, there's the fighting historian's owns. Let's bring... let's stay them in the... keep them in the woods for a moment. So, I think about 1 hour is fought. So it said that after 2 hours we get reinforcements. So probably this will be the case after... when 1 hour or so is left. So those... damn, there are some cavalry men. Okay. And some skirmishers too. That's not good. That's not good. Then let's move the fighting historian's own over there. So it was clear that there would come some reinforcements. But I didn't expect them attacking from this side. So let's hope Post is holding well there. Damn! This was... no, Post is killed. Seriously? This is so embarrassing. I always hate losing commanders. So this is ugly how often they get killed. So they really want to know now. Let's send them back. I do not want them to be shattered. Yeah. So they press in from this direction, which totally makes sense, but at least now my canister shots come into play. So let's rout them. Alright. And Post has rallied. That's good. So let's bring the fighting historian into the fray again. Damn it. So thank God for the Napoleons in the center. 350 killed, 17 men lost. Good start. So this should rout those Tennessee men now. Good. So finally the case can turn around, deal with those skirmishers. And... hey Kani! Welcome back! Yeah, the general fights himself, if necessary. And if he has no mate attempt to help him. So sorry, today it's German stream language, so I always switch a bit. So if I play such minor titles, and if I play alone, I just communicate in English with my followers, but just feel free to write in German. I can perfectly answer it. So, but I myself stick to the stream language I've chosen for this broadcast. So. But nice to have you back. I really appreciate it that you joined in. And here is already the reserve, which is amazing. So let's bring them up. And let's even use skirmishers to give them something to think about, let's say. So Maxwell's men, they just advance in this direction, but the other 3 units, they can head into the woods now. Who's throwing snowballs? What do you think we are doing here? If it looks like a snowball battle to you, then alright. By the way, what is wrong with Kruger? I do not like this, to be honest. Now I need to... Do I really need skirmishers to replace a full-size brigade? Let's try to take them out. Okay. Ah, whoa, 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 whoa. Good that we used some skirmishers. Maxwell, you had for those batteries, and they surrendered. Okay, this was totally mismanagement now. This was clearly not necessary. So there I sticked a bit too much to the minor battle there. But it's crucial to keep those points defended. And yeah, let's press on. Okay, Lily retreating. But let's deal with this bloody battery there. And of course they stick to the woods. So, damn. And it's really annoying having to deal with those bloody skirmishers so much, but that's how it goes. That's what skirmishers are made for. And why is the Fighting Historian's own brigade heading to the woods now? Okay. So they are... The battery is shattered mostly. Kruger also retreating. This is really not going well now. Well, it's not extremely critical, but I really don't like how they run into the woods when they retreat. And there come some skirmishers. That's embarrassing. So now let's try to entrench there. Post gets heavy pressure there. And we need them all back into the center. Another general killed. Yeah, it's the first modern war, and this is mostly shown in the casualties. So I'm not that happy how this develops. And while Captain, you said it's a nasty battle, yeah, that is the case, but to be honest, this was not the major problem here. The major problem was I got trapped too much in those woods here in the south. Well, I think it's the south. And this is what made things tough for me. So I should have sticked to... So I just get too much distracted by those skirmish units. That's the problem, basically. So I use whole brigades chasing them down, and now I think it's hard to pull them out. And now look at my sender. It's totally... Damn. And the reinforcements do not do really well, so they do not really proceed there. Cavalry raiding through my lines now. This is absolutely not what should happen. They even routed my general unit a bit, so let's attach some skirmishers there. Oh, the battery routing. So at least it's only 24 minutes left. Let's try to charge them. Maybe we can bring them out and post. They will head back to the center. And the reinforcement don't do any progress there. That's also bad. So now they are wavering, but that's just what we said. It's... no! This clearly should not have happened. Okay, damn it. At least we secured the crossroad. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Kani. So this was really bad now. This was really bad now. So this inability to defend this place now also led to the loss of my ammunition wagons. Let's see if this will... So for victory I only need to hold Parker's Crossroad, so that at least is good. So it's not that important to defend those ammunition carts. Let's call it a bloodbath. For a massacre, it's not one-sided enough. So let's hope that Miles will hold now. Where is Vincent? So I'm really not happy with the outcome of this. They rout. But I still hold it, the time is up. And I can finish it. This should be a victory, but a really close one. Damn it. And I even have more casualties than them. This is the... well, I had the same at Fredericksburg, of course, but... really not nice. Really not nice. So... Let's see at the officers. 2 deceased, 2 wounded, 2 promotions, bad cut there too. Good, lot of bullshit captured. This was not nice. This was not nice. This was not what I wanted. Of course, well, I do not even get the man I lost. Yeah. So I can totally blame myself for this, because the defend, I took it too easy. I totally admit it. So let's increase medicine again. Look at this. Look at this mess. So the fighting historians own again need a commanding officer. Same with Post. Same with Pleasanton. This is a toll you should not pay for such a minor battle, really. Yeah, but you won in the end. So okay, I have some 23,000 men now, and I have lots of influence. Let's see what could we get for this. I can spend 38 influence. Let's go for money. Really, and for Sheridan. Yeah, that's right. Okay, okay, you got me. That's right. So, what should I do with Sheridan? Let's give him command of this division. So we can only bring 20. We can only bring 20 brigades per corps in the upcoming battle. So this means we get the first 3. Usually we get the first 3 divisions and some 2 units from the next one. We could change them maybe, but I could now shift some units in the... No, but I won't do this. I will keep those units together. I think this is also a big problem. Always reorganizing your army and this totally bringing them in disarray by doing so. Yeah, but okay, so you, I totally get your point, but you deserved it a bit because you, well, if you spend so much time with a game, then it's okay to be a professional in the end. So, this is so annoying. So if I would play the Confederate campaign now, I also would do a bit better. So I started the Confederate campaign 3 or 4 times, I think. This is basically the reason why I now go for the Union, because, yeah. It's just, I want to do something new. And I think I will do the Confederate campaign too, when it comes to this, but... So we definitely need to build up strength now. And numbers. At least at Stone River we are in the defensive position, which pleases me. But I also liked it in the Confederate campaign. Attacking there was a cool battle. It was tough, especially getting the final stronghold of the Union. But I think since we have had Fredericksburg before, this battle I think was implemented to rebalance it again. So since the Union gets heavy casualties at Fredericksburg, nevertheless, so I think they added this battle to nope. I added this battle probably to give them some time to recover, which did not happen in the previous battle, to be honest. Yeah, well, that's mostly the reason to watch people on Twitch, I think. So maybe they are entertaining. Maybe you learn something. So I'm definitely not a good gamer. So I know my strategies somehow. So I think I'm not that bad at Total War or something like this. But I could not compete with some tough online cracks or whatever. I never could do this. I have some basic skills as a tactician, I think, and I know my part of history, so I can tell about it a bit. So that's why I do streaming, and that's what I want to bring. I want to tell some stuff about history. All right then. So now this. So that, as I can only say it again, this is what made Ultimate Admiral a bit nicer. I think reforming them was not that stupid. So here's just dragging the bars and switching between rookies and veterans mostly. Every now and then replacing some weapons. At Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail you did the same amount of management, but it was more diverse. It was more, first you had to care for the ships, then you had to care for the officers, and just in the end you watched after the numbers of the battalions. So it was a bit, it had a bit more varieties, I think. That's the thing. This is only just the second. It's just the second corner. Okay, and we run short. Welcome back, Kani. So Kani, if I understood it right, so you came from Amida's Discord, right? Nosy told me that he made an announcement that he was taking part in my stream, and since he knew you, then you joined in at Iron Harvest. So if you follow Amida's Discord, then you probably are also totally interested in history, because this guy is pretty cool when it comes to talk about history.
Sir, yes, sir.
So in my opinion, he had his breakthrough when he started this YouTube series, Historian Comments on whatever. Ah, that's on my sharpshooters. No. Yeah, they are. Let's exchange them to have them in the battle. So which parts of history you like most then? Yeah, that's a nice approach to it. So basically my motivation of starting game streaming was when the first lockdown started in spring, and so as I probably told you before, I do some historical reenactment, we have a medieval group and stuff like this. So and the whole season of course was cancelled. Nothing could take place as planned, and then I just said, come on, then I just do some game streaming, so there I can also dress up fancily and have my history. So that's basically the idea behind it. So I'm really running short of men now. This is not good.
Yes, sir.
So it's getting tougher in any way. And I'm not unique when it comes to dressing up for streams, but so there are some people around doing similar things, but they mostly do it as a kind of mockery. Have a fancy hat or a funny hat or something. Seldom do they try to have proper costumes or proper dresses. So that is what I want to make unique, that I try to have a certain standard when it comes to dressing up for streaming. This is so annoying, so let's fill them up. So only 2,000 men left. At least the corps have some decent strength again, but they need more men. What? This was... They need more. Come on, all in now. Let's pump all the troops in. As bad the fighting historians, there are no rifles left for those poor fellas. Yeah, exactly. City captain just answered. So I'm just preparing the army for Stones River. So I talked a lot with Captain Haag about which epochs and regions should be covered in computer games. We got a bit lost. I got a bit lost about it. I totally admit it. And then we had this tough battle, this tough minor battle, and now we are heading for Stones River in a minute. I will just use up all my... Oh, look at them, how decimated they are. Just use up the rest of my reserves to give them at least a decent strength again. Okay. And now I used up all my men, I only have 50,000 left. So you came for Stones River then? Interesting. So then you are Civil War enthusiast or something like this probably. Good. Let's go for the battle map. And yeah. Stones River, here we are. Okay, I think third corps is the weakest at the moment, or second corps. Third corps is only 25,000 men, they have 30,000. Okay, let's use first corps on the left, second on the right, and good old Georgie boy in the center. And here we go. We are marching from Nashville on our mission to meet and destroy General Bragg's army. I have no clue because I did not bring up reconnaissance, so I have totally no idea what expects me there. Securing the small town of Murfreesboro will not only have a strong symbolic impact on the Confederates, but will allow us to march further south and gain greater territorial control of Tennessee. Bragg is obviously not willing to allow us to march further onto Tennessee soil. He waits for us at the banks of Stones River. A frontal attack would be suicidal. Yeah, probably. It would be wiser to reinforce our left and advance. If we take the rest of the town, We can flank and push the Confederates south. Our cavalry is patrolling the area, and tomorrow we will know if the ground is suitable for an attack. So that's basically what the historical plan of Rosecrans was. Was it Rosecrans, the commander? I think. So he wanted to attack there on the left and capture the Haves. Another viable option is to attack their left, but we don't know how many rebels got the area. Yeah, it's nice to have the forewarning, but I just had to make a decision as always, and since I'm a decadent, fat, northern politician, I just went for full politics to have the funds and the troops. That's just so. We win the war by sheer economics, we bleed them out, we just pull in more and more troops as long as we need to bring those rebels down. That's just my plan. Yeah, so that's just my basic idea. First go for full money and full troops, and then slowly we can increase the medical service and the cheaper weapons and whatever. And in the end we can do some reconnaissance. So this is kind of a northern play style. The south would more go for skill, less for economics. So this is kind of a role play approach. And no, I just said, okay, first give me all the money, and then we can bring up the rest. And not only the money, of course, the money and also army size, since you need a certain strength at the beginning. So headquarters at Nashville Pike, all good, all fine. So what do we have? We start here defending those woods. This is nice. General, while our soldiers are having their breakfast, the rebels decided to attack first. Enemy infantry is advancing towards our right flank. Interesting. So I just read a bit about the battle today, and which was interesting. I read that I think at the night before the battle, the bands, the marching bands of both armies had kind of a contest. Who played better, who played the songs better. So at the night before the battle, they camped only some 600 or 700 yards away from each other. And then they had this band contest, who played better. And I read that at the end of this concert duel, the soldiers of both armies sang Home Sweet Home, which is a beautiful episode, but which makes this so sad, this battle, is that it was fought on New Year's Eve, basically. So it started on 31st of December and went on to 2nd of January. So not the nicest way to end the second year of the war. Yeah, so it's just what I read on the German Wikipedia page. So it wasn't even written on the English one. I don't know why. But it's a nice episode, and it's somewhat fitting. Think of all those episodes of kind of ceasefires between enemy lines. Think of the Christmas miracle at First World War. So, yeah, it's kind of makes sense to enjoy such small moments somehow. So, I don't know if you have seen at least they had a band contest. I don't know if you guys have seen, there was a Danish series, 1864. It was about the war of 1864 when the Prussian and Austrians fought against the Danish. And there you have the Prussian military band playing all those Prussian marches conducted by Piefke, the famous conductor. And this was just to demoralize the enemy. So at the day shelling, and at the night the band playing. So I don't know if this is historically accurate that Piefke, this conductor of the Prussian army, was present there at the double fortifications. But if it was exactly like this, I'm not sure. But it's a good series, by the way, if you are interested in a bit of European history. It's from the Danish point of view, which also makes it interesting. It's a nice story. Some 8 episodes, each about an hour. Good series. Here's just 1864. So watch your center because it might be blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. So what a hell of a lot of troops we have there. Why are there so few? Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. So can we shift them a bit in the first place? Let's bring them mostly in position at the beginning. Yeah. And some batteries at the flag point. Some ammunition too. A commander. So I don't know if it's available. I think it's not available on any of the streaming services. I needed to buy it to watch it, but I really enjoyed it. And if you want, just give it a go. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. So it's not a really interesting deployment right now. There is a gap. I don't really like this gap, so oh, yeah, that's right. Why the hell? Thank you for the advice. Nope, that was wrong. Okay, no, thank you. This is what I need now. Okay, let's go for it. Let them come. Let's not give them any foothold of the woods. Okay, here they come. Fine. The first skirmishers around. Nothing really surprising about it. But they will have their bloody noses out in the open. This was an ugly part when playing it as Confederate. Good that I brought the skirmishers forward to buy the Gibson brigade some time. Oh! That's even better. Oh, look at them. Then I definitely know where to use the reinforcements. They will never get there in time. Okay. Whoa. Doing fine there. Are you shocked by the Confederate onslaught there? Believe me, I am too. Definitely. They even broke through here with 3 brigades at my precious battery. This is clearly not good. So let's bring Gary down somehow. Yeah, probably. So I did not expect it being that fierce in the beginning. But it's only in the south. It's only in the south so far. So maybe we can match them with the reserves sooner or later. At the moment I don't think that might be an easy task. But let's stick to the woods as good as possible. I really did not try to defend, so that's my problem. First of all, I only played this once. Second, I tried to stick to my orders, at least at the first part. So we must withdraw. Okay. That's good that the Supreme Command does this decision for me. Bragg had the guts to attack us fiercely at our right. There is no point in defending this position anymore. It's advised to rally your forces on this hill near Wilkinson Road and hold as much as you can. Okay. So total shift of strategy now. We definitely get out of this mess here as soon as possible. And build up a new defensive line here. Okay, they save the retreat as good as possible. Ah, this poor battery getting hammered there. That's really not good. Yeah, of course those orders are horrible, so that's war. But as I said, I do not really know the campaign that well. I only played the Union campaign once, on the contrary to the captain. I have not really a clue what's going on, and I also do not really remember how those battles developed. Okay, time to pull them out too. Okay, let's bring them back. So also no real need to secure this, so I think I will do the second defense line just along those woods here and trap them in the open if possible. So this means we will retreat Gibson there and them there. Oh, and we need to bring back the precious artillery by any means. Probably I lost one battery, that one that was positioned somewhere over here. Yeah, there are lots of destroyed guns, so probably one battery lost. So here they are strong. There they get a whole division in reserve. Even more artillery, so this position should be strong and easy to defend for a while. Let's even bolster them a bit more. Ah, Virtual Paladin! Nice to have you back. So I think there speaks the guy from Maryland now. Well, it's interesting how often they talked about sending them back to Richmond and how seldom they really did. So, maybe not the best parole. Anyway, I'll do my very best, of course. And now don't quote good old Sean Connery from the movie The Rock and what he said about people who talk about doing their best. Good. We somehow got out of this for the moment. Thank you. That's too much compliment for my taste. Thank you. So let's try to build up a defense line there. They are terribly exposed there, which is not cool. Let's better get them in the woods a bit, that they can give some nice flanking fire, and we also will retreat the Scribner cannon a bit more. It's just nonsense to have them there. There we have a nice angle. So at the moment it's all about delaying. We got out of the biggest mess down there. This is good. Let's even place some batteries there. I should have done this in the beginning, to be honest. And with this division that I will keep mostly in reserve at the beginning, I try to cover this gap if necessary. And oh, what's wrong? Ah, they got blocked. Okay, I get it. Then let's rearrange them if possible. Dudes, your pathfinding is horrible. Okay, so there they do not push forward at the moment, but there's still 2 hours to go for this part of the battle. So I think I need to be cautious where they do the first push. At the moment they just test me a bit down there. Who's this? 12th, 13th, 14th Tennessee. Interesting that they do the individual regiments there. You mean because there are two rows, or what do you mean about realistic? So there we give them some nice shelling. This is good. So, and they do not advance. So I have just some skirmishers lurking around there. So if we can stick to those woods, and this one we can easily abandon if necessary. So I think the main advance will of course be here where the flag point is, or the landmark, but there we have a whole division in reserve, and there are some good units involved. They are shattered, good, those have... Yeah, of course, if you want to, whatever, zoom in and see infantrymen reloading and falling to the ground, then you need to go to Empire, to Total War, of course. So this game lives from the zoom in factor and stuff like this. So, but I also like if games concentrate a bit more on the tactical aspect, like this one here. And so basically, let's be honest, in Empire, in any Total War title, you never ever have the time to zoom in and watch those guys having hand-to-hand combat or whatever. This looks great in the trailers or whatever, but it's totally necessary, unnecessary in active gameplay. So yeah, so then better have a sophisticated tactical game or strategy game instead of, oh, come on dudes. they are let's keep them in reserve then anyway. So those guys just stand there and wait. So there we start engaging them. We brought up the second battery. This is also good. Are those Napoleon guns? Yes. Wonderful. So another half an hour gun. There they are entrenched themselves. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised too, I admit. So after the first phase of the battle, when they came in massively, I totally expected being overrun. But like this, I totally can live with it right now. Oh, there's good old Trimble. but of course not the famous Trimble of the Confederates. So for all those guys who have seen Gettysburg, the movie, and I bet you have, so I so much like the scene when he complains at General Lee about the passive stance of Ewell when he did not capture Culp's Hill at the first day. And I so much like this scene, how upset he gets, and he said, give me just one division and I take that hill. And he said nothing. And give me just one brigade and I take this hill. And he again said nothing. And I said, sir, give me just one regiment. And he still said no. It's so great, the scene. I so much like it. So... But of course, our Trimble here cannot be the one from the Confederates. That's perfectly sure. So what I do now, I shift this battery up to the north, since there is not much pressure in the south now. I hate it so much. Okay, let's replace Rogers then for a moment. So that's so annoying, they only concentrate on one unit then. Well, it has its flaws indeed. So, but it's a good movie, yeah, of course. The thing is, what is always problematic with historical movies. So I love historical movies, of course. I totally love it. But the problem is indeed, the closer they stick to real history, the harder they find a good storyline, a good story arc. So. Gettysburg represents the battle perfectly, but you need to be excited about the history. It's not enough. So you cannot watch it to have an entertaining movie. So if you like history, then it's perfect. Otherwise, it's a totally boring piece of cinema. To be really honest. So. And well, yeah, I totally like Chamberlain's story arc, indeed. And they did not even have to cheat, so they just could use the real story. So the spirited defense of Little Round Top is the most amazing part in the whole movie. Look at them, they don't do anything. There's 1 hour to go. And if they act like this, so they shift forward one brigade right now. One single brigade is everything, probing my whole battle line there. So I totally understand you, Cynicity, that I would never have I don't know the battle really well, but I would never have expected the AI be so defensive. Now they shift in a second brigade, alright, but still they attack at a part of the battlefield where I have a good battery positioned, and so I know the battle from the Confederate point of view, and it's so horrible attacking those positions. That's maybe the reason why they don't do. But if they want to have any chance, they should surround me, try to push through those woods, something like that. But they don't do. Yeah, that's totally right. I totally agree with you. What, the ammunition car is already empty? Oops. Why? There were hardly any fightings going on. Why are they empty? From those few musketry shots? I can't believe it. So at least now we have the second battery there too. I think the other one I really lost at the beginning. Yeah, we will see, gentlemen. We will see. At the moment, I am everywhere in a good position to defend, and every advance he makes is repelled, and with greater losses on enemy side, so it's perfectly fine right now. So even if they get better, even if they are strong on 2nd January, I will also be strong, pretty strong. So I have largely intact brigades right now. So that should work out. That should work out. And I think my units that are positioned here. By the way, where is this was the reserve troop there. So there are whole divisions not yet involved. So, yeah, we will see. The Gettysburg score is quite good indeed. That's true. So especially the opening title, awesome. Really good. Maybe we can pull them a bit further into the open. Allow some shots. I really don't get why the ammunition is used up already. From what? Just tell me from what. I don't know. I have no clue. There was hardly any fighting going on. And this is totally not understandable for me. Well, I did, so it's always the same amount, right? It's always 20 or 30,000 or whatever you have chosen. Yeah, so this should not be the problem. Yeah, I have around 20 to 30,000 for each corps, so maybe it was a punishment because I lost the supply wagons in the previous minor battle. So I won the battle, but indeed they managed to capture all the supply. I don't think that's the reason. It's just kidding. But what the hell? Okay. So they really do the best thing they can. They attack the only brigades positioned in the open right now. Yeah, of course not. Of course not. Do they anything? Nope. They just stand there. They just stand there. Boat? What means boat? Sorry, I have to ask. I'm not a native speaker, as you know, or probably have guessed from my strong accent. So now there's some charging going on, I think. Who's yelling? Nobody. Defend Nashville Pike, okay. Yeah, here we are. General, the rebels are starting to surround us. It is strongly advised to withdraw and take defensive position at our headquarters on Nashville Pike. Okay. The rebels must not cut our escape route, which is controlled by this select section of the National Pike, because our whole army can be trapped and lost. Okay. Yeah, that's perfectly right. So let's see. Now they advance. Now they advance. So first, let's bring them back there, since it's no need to stay in the open that much. It's better form a kind of second defense line there. So those guys there. So first of all, let's bring up some good artillery on the central position. And then we form up this whole mess of infantry around the pike. Something like that. Is that there's also a point, so we will use a bit of defense there. How's the advance going? I do not want to abandon those positions right now. I want to trap them a bit in the open, since I have a good solid position. But what I really do not need are those guys there. So that's a bold move now. And probably I'll need to retreat later. But I just do not want to abandon the whole line at the moment. The time to retreat will come, but not as long as we have them in the open. So if you said before that you fear the second day, then let's use our good defensive positions right now to shift the odds a bit in my favor. And again, they do not really attack. And just slowly. And only in the open. So this should be my phase of battle. Okay, here they push in now. Let's push them forward a bit. Trap them in the open as long as we can. Delay them with skirmishers. Upper shift back a bit. And it's 2 hours, only 2 hours, so, well, 2.5, but, by the way. So let's see what is coming against us there. So I know in the Confederate campaign, here they come. Okay, good. How many are there? At the moment, we easily can check them. So there are not more of them, so then let's keep them trapped here. Meanwhile, Sender, poor cavalry fellas sacrificing them. My troops are not visible right now. Ideal trap for some cavalrymen. And let's start manning the defenses. It's a bit thin there right now. This is clearly not what I want. It's keep them in reserve. Form up the batteries. So there we are. Small attacks going on there, not that much a problem. The battery, let's bring them up. And here we checked them. We definitely checked them there. So Iron Brigade reserve, Cabal move up. Skirmishers, maybe flanking some artillery, what about that? So, damn, this cavalry is in the open, but Wheeler misses the opportunity badly. Who will be there? The enemy? Okay, there come more reinforcements, so let's not be too bold here. Let's not advance too far. No chance for them to make any progress there. Nothing to achieve there. They are in the open. Okay, so this defense line here is a bit too weak for the moment. Well, especially with this unit there, giving some flanking fire across the river, I quite like the situation right now. The battery is getting some shots. And as long as they shell the skirmishers with their canister fire, I can deal with it. And what I want to do now, I want to trap them a bit in the open. Are there any units I can dispatch skirmishers from? Buckley, for example. Okay, let's use Buckleys. Daniel, they can dispatch some skirmishers too. Anybody else? Probably he, yeah. It's just giving them something to think about. Yeah, I don't know it, so I did not expect it going that smooth. So, okay, this single division, brigade there is causing some trouble right now. This is the well-known problem, units rout and then they are behind your lines, but on the other hand, not that much of a problem. I have units there. This raiding cavalry is no problem. Even there I checked them quite well. And might even push further. First of all, let's bring kind of a battle line up here. This would be a nice new thing. A battle line, a formation. Never heard of it, but let's try it out, boys. Well, we do not even have midday, so maybe you are right, but on the other hand, the Confederates started their charge after breakfast, so... By the way, we shift those cannon up the ridge since they are somewhat decimated. Same with them. So this is a full 300 men, 12 gun, double battery with good Napoleons, so no need losing them in a retreat whenever it might be possible or necessary. Necessary is the word. And now let's just harass them a bit. That's what skirmishers are made for. Well, they are not made indeed, they are dispatched, of course. Good old Sook. Supported by Rosen. I have no idea. Oh, okay, so much about my formation. I think I just moved a bit stupidly. Okay, I get it. Let's manually direct them and shift those poor fellas to the south. At least those guys retreat so they don't make any progress there. I'm even countering them. No, definitely not at Walmarts. So what are they equipped with? Sharps. So let's try to harass them a bit. Why not? Okay, so all is pretty fine right now. So the skirmishers did a good job with the battery. There we have them on the run. I cannot believe that they won't get any reinforcements there. But on the other hand, I would love to advance a bit there. Okay, there's one brigade, but I think... there's another one. Okay, here we are. Okay, they slowly approach there. They slowly approach. But we can shift a part of those guys into the center, so there I even check them with my skirmishers right now. I'm pretty sure the moment for the AI will come. But I don't understand it neither, so 3/4 of an hour to go. Nothing too serious happening there. So they try to advance a bit into the center here, but this is clearly not enough for any suitable countercharge or for any offensive operation. So yeah, well, let me correct this. It's a bit... So therefore, let's shift those units back into the center for now. It's no need to stick to this wood. At the moment, we check them easily. So those skirmishers will realize when the enemy makes a push around the flank. And let's pull out whichever troop we can to so there they get some hammering. By the way, where's this bloody battery? And they lose some strength there. They are down to 700, 800. So since there's nothing really to gain right now, let's pull back to a defensive position there and let them come. And if they come, and if they come in strength, then let's pull back over the river. What guys are those? Blue ones? Who did they shatter there? That I clearly have missed. Who did they shatter? Yeah, I totally get your point, Captain. That's perfectly fine. So now they form up, threatening my brigade there. But really, which unit was shattered there? I totally have no clue at all. So there we even checked them. Good that I shifted those brigades there. They at just that point to relieve some pressure on those guys. And it's 19 minutes, gentlemen. Yeah, but probably I had dispatched 3 skirmish units there. Ah, there's the battery, by the way. One there, the other there. So probably those were the 3rd skirmish unit. I hope it was only the skirmish unit. Ah, dude, seriously. There was another skirmish unit extincted. That's not nice, but what a nice trap we have there for them. So I can live with this back and forth there. Seems to be more gray than blue bodies on the ground. So 3 minutes. Oh, look at poor Pew, they are heavily decimated. But they didn't have many units. Why had they have 400, so they can only have had some 1,000 men. But I did not bring any brigade that small into battle. I definitely did not. So the time is up. Let's see what's going. The new year finds us entrenched. Okay. So yeah, it restores, of course, since, as you say, Captain, there wouldn't be any army then. But it's a bit awkward. So now well, probably day 2 will be harder, but I nevertheless think we came out quite well. We came out quite well out of this. So let's just jump back to the camp for a moment, which we can do now, and see about... really? I understand now. I lost the supply wagon in the previous minor battle, and therefore it's down to 2,500 supply. That's the reason. This totally makes sense. Alright, and yeah, no refill. I don't like refilling troops between battle. So good night, Kani. Thanks for joining in again. Really appreciate it. And maybe we see another day. Good night, sir. So now this is clear. So the car, the coach, the wagon was replaced after its loss, and therefore it was okay. Day 2, and now we have a nice defensive position. Look at this. Look at this. General Nashville Pike must be held at all costs if we want to claim victory today. Bragg probably knows that in the next days he will receive strong reinforcements, and maybe he's anxious to attack us before they arrive. Let's hope for this. We have trenches covering the whole surrounding area, so we are well protected. That's true. They are decimated there. Yesterday we have extended our left flank along the field on the opposite side of the river in order to observe enemy movements. Watch for rebels. They could attempt to attack us there. Yeah, probably that's what rebels do. They attack Union soldiers normally. We expect the Confederates to attack from southwest, from south, and from there, southeast. Good luck. Yeah, so perfectly fine. 3 hours to go in a hell of a defensive position. So I really do not fear that much for this part of the battle. I really do not fear that much, I must admit. Then the reason for this is that I have a small defensive position. So I do not need to watch the whole battlefield. I can stick to this defense line. Here they come. So we will pull behind all those troops to a nice arc there. So basically what we did before. And they might stay in reserve there. And let's bring up a nice flanking force into this woods. We could even bring 2 units for now. There are tons of reserves, really. Let's have a short look at the artillery. There are batteries, Let's shift them back a bit. That's even too much to... Oh, there are skirmishers. Let's shift them out there. Yeah, what you say, running out of troops. I had this at the Battle of Gettysburg when I played it as the Union. No, as the Confederates, sorry. At this point, the Union was so heavily decimated that they couldn't hardly resist from day 2. Whoa. Okay. Let's bring up some of our reserve troops into a bit of a backup position. Since they come in heavily there. So what I really do not like about the situation now, normally I try to keep divisions together. So I really don't like if they are intermixed heavily. So normally I click a whole division, sort out the artillery, and then shift, let's say, all units from them to have a division together. I don't know why, I don't know if it has any impact, but and now I totally just shift brigades wherever I want them, which is clearly not what I intend for this battle, but yeah, that's how it goes right now. And those bloody skirmishes there. So I really should not stick too much on this part of the battlefield. On the other hand, their forces there are not that strong. Their brigades are somewhat down. You know what? Let's even shift some more troops there. I think I have enough troops to hold the center for a while. Look, there are so many strong 2 and 3 star brigades. Just no need to keep them all centered here. And if we can do kind of a countercharge across the river, why not? And meanwhile, this crazy flanking force is not flanking, but yeah, that's it. That's it. So it makes more sense doing this when you, let's say, advance in a full flanking maneuver or whatever. So then that's fine. But so let's you know what? Let's counter them. Let's counter them. Let's try to force them back here. Try to build up a battle line here. Push them back. Here's lots of open terrain. At the moment we perfectly hold. There's no attack going on there at the moment. To make sure this will be the case later, let's pull out some skirmishers. So there we dealt with those bloody skirmishers, no wonder. So they cannot bring it on. And as long as they do not get any crazy mass reserves there, so there are lots of reserves in the center. We form up a flanking force here. We even can do a countercharge there. So the onslaught we feared for second day, so far I don't see it. I don't see it, to be honest. So forward. Trap them in the open. And now those guys can nicely deal with them, so there's not even a pressure going on there. So those reinforcements arrive too. So let's take the stronger ones to advance. Absolute brilliant position, absolute solid defense line. This is kind of our Fredericksburg now, I think. Hey JP, welcome. Welcome back, indeed. Gentlemen, I smell some victory in the air. Thank you. Thank you. So at the moment I don't see how they could break my center here. They run dry on every frontier. Yeah, that's true. As I said, let's do a bit of the grand move today. Okay. Time to increase the pressure a bit. Just a bit. And now time to so I really do not need those batteries there. So let's have a nice battery arc there. Yeah, no way. So here this part is secured, only 1.5 hours, so this was I think a 3-hour part, and so far there's nothing going on anyhow threatening me. So I will lose some troops there, of course. This is what happens when you push. But for securing the sender, and by the way, we also could... There are so many troops. What should I do with all those reserves? So let's move them in. Let's move them there. No, let's move them there. In the security of the defense line. So they do not like what happens to them there. They really do not like. Okay, they get decimated, so it was, of course... We are trapped in the open now. Too. But... This is not the great countercharge Bragg expected. I'm perfectly sure about this. Trimble wounded. Okay. So we check them. Medieval 2? Total War? Or which one? Do they really have ammunition issues now? Is this really necessary? Anyway, I'm totally happy how things went out here. I did expect something totally different, to be honest. So I'm totally with you, gentlemen, that nice one, yeah. You are probably right, sir. You are probably right. So come on. Let's do some counter charge. They have no chance. Okay, we get some setbacks here, that's obvious, but... we even spotted the artillery. But from the woods, it's a good place to attack them. Okay, I expected something like this, that the counter charge here wouldn't go that well. I really do not wonder about it, so since we cannot properly flank them there, let's better hold, since they have a lot of defensive artillery there too. But I want to push a bit further here. I think I have trapped them a bit. And anything that holds them away from my sender is good. Meanwhile, the counter charge going on here is also quite useful. So no threat from there. Oh, there are even some reserves. Interesting. Okay. So then let's deal with them. We have enough units there, so no problem with this. Let's fill the gaps with Lomas and Devons. Okay, they reorganized somewhat. But just no chance there. No chance. Wheeler wheeling around. Gibbon wounded. So since we will not crush them, and since our losses get grim with every meter we advance, so I will not advance any further here, just stick to those woods and hold the position. This is perfectly fine for me. We cannot hope for a complete victory here. But we can say we held the battlefield, and we did at least as good as they did historically. You could say we did even a bit better when it comes to the losses. We never did get in a state of disarray. Okay, so here is the advance here is not, it's not successful, so we just had the effect that our center was saved. We dealt with some of their bloody cannon. That's good. We had them on the run here. They are miles away from this flag point. They are miles away from this flag point, and thanks to our flanking attack here, nothing to fear there. We had our losses, we had our share, that's for sure, but so we will not attack those entrenchments there. No need for it. 12 minutes to go. Gentlemen, since it's 2nd of January and it's 7 p.m. It should be terribly dark right now, and I think we can more than claim the field for us. So you all have done brilliantly, gentlemen. Great staff work. This victory was our victory, achieved by some wise movements, some good advices from your side. And if the Union has a brink of hope in those grim days following the Battle of Fredericksburg, then it's due to our success here. So, gentlemen, for the Union. This could even have been a full encirclement if I had the time and if I had more troops pulled out there. So but it was good. And now the casualties are alright. 14,000 against 24,000. 10,000 more for them. And we outnumbered them by 10,000 too. Okay. So this was a success. Officers, finally a good result when it comes to the officers. Only 2 wounded, nobody deceased in this case. This is really good. So we got some new major generals, a lot of them to be honest. 5 more major generals. Let's see the goods. Lots of sharps captured indeed. And lots of pattern. So we should use more of those pattern airfields. Okay. That went out quite well. Indeed. I'm happy with this. I get all the men I lost, I get as reinforcements, so I can bring my army up to some 75,000-80,000 men. The funds are rare, of course, but yeah, we had lost a division commander, but this is here are some losses. Maybe those were in the first stage of the battle and were not indicated at the end. But that's all right somehow. Okay, career points. At least go for this to have the starting army size. Why not? Why not? Let's get some discount for weapons. And I think this is the Chancellorsville campaign now. It must be Chancellorsville. What can we bring for Chancellorsville? That's the big question. Therefore, we need to build up our army. It's good. This is perfect. This is perfect because we can bring our full corps and the reserve, so it's no need. The next battle on Thursday, so then you would do your stream yourself. Okay. Cool. So I do not plan a stream myself so far on Thursday. I will be online tomorrow again, but with Empire Total War, with the late game of my French campaign. Since tomorrow I'm grasping for the riches of India. I even want to cook some Indish butter chicken and have some IPA to give it the right flavor. So maybe I can join in on Thursday. This might be possible. Yeah, at Chancellorsville they will be pretty aggressive, so I definitely will not do the Battle of Chancellorsville today. I just wonder if I should do one of the minor battles today. At least I do not need to do any changes for the army composition. This is so this is fine. And then let's see what minor battles do we have. 9th of April, 11th of April, and 14th of April. So we do them in this order. Supply rate. Is this the one you did? Is this the full-scale cavalry battle? It seems so. So I cannot choose any troops, so and the map looks a bit like the one you had when in the stream I looked. Watch from, so I will not do this today, to be honest. So I'm not up to some full-scale cavalry battle, therefore I need to be fresh, and it was a busy day today. So forgive me if I will not do another battle, so I'll just be honest to you. There will be no more battle today, since I do not like going to the battle with stuff I do not know. So what I will do now, I will care for my troops a bit. I will replace the officers and fill up whatever I can and do all those upgrades. This is this crazy organization stuff. So just feel free to stay and chat a bit if you want, but of course, no obligation for this. Clearly, just do as you please. And well, I don't know when I will do the Chancellor stuff, but as I told sometimes in my stream, so my basic idea when I want to do streaming is on my Twitter info page. So the basic idea is on Wednesday, on Friday, and on Sunday, but I found out that I cannot really stick to this. The thing is, for example, today is Tuesday, and I still am online because I didn't do on Sunday. So it's a bit difficult. I'm a working man. I have some friends around. We do some video chats in Corona times sometimes. So it's just not possible to always stick to the plan. So what is quite accurate is indeed my Twitter channel. So I'm not the typical Twitter guy. I do not comment everyday's politics there or whatever. But what I do there, normally around midday Central European time, I announce the exact game of the upcoming stream, and I also have on the Twitter info page, I have a calendar, and there I also write it down. So the Twitch info page, the calendar on the Twitch info page indicates the planned times, and on Twitter I give some informations about planned events. So you can follow me there if you want. If not, no problem with it. Yeah, and so, otherwise you just see, you get the Twitch notifications when I start streaming, I think. So yeah, I think we will meet again. I hope we will meet again, because I really like having some dudes around here that know what they talk about when it comes to this game, that even can give the one or other advice. So I really like this. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So as I said, the calendar on the Twitch info page, if I announce something there, I normally stick to it. And I decide this half a day, 1 day in advance. So forget the basic stream plan, but the calendar on the Twitch info page is quite accurate when it comes to the time and when it comes to the game. Yeah, and so that's just it. And now I will do some of this fancy organization stuff, so that I can fully go for the cavalry battle next Ultimate General stream. And yeah, then I hope I have a well reformed army. So I fear a bit about my, so it's just horrible, those costs. Yeah, okay, thank you, Captain, for joining in again. I always appreciate your company, and we will see you again, I think. And so till then, I just wish you a good night and a good rest of the week, and don't have it too busy, my friend. It's not good. So Kruger will be replaced. Then we can use Kruger as division commander. And there are still some divisions with only a brigadier general, so let's change this as good as we can. So it was good having this Stones River battle that well when it comes to the losses. So it's really nice having good promoted officers. So again, there is Gary. Gary, we don't need you there. We want to have you as chef of this division. So the rest is fine. Yeah. So what we could do, we have lots. Let's replace this one, since 4th division is mostly reserve, and let's do the same with them. So then we get there 2 major generals as division commanders. Let's have one there.
Yes, sir.
What's with my Discord? The sound? I have actually no clue where it comes from, to be honest.
Yes, sir.
I wonder what it is, since I normally don't have it, but I also hear it. So no idea, actually. Strange. I will need to check this. Ah, there's an upgrade for this battery. Oh, we need more replacements. No, there's a sound. I also hear it, but I cannot name what it is. That's the problem. And since I go offline soon after those basic replenishments, so I do even think I could. So they went out of the battle quite well indeed. So let's bring them up to some strength.
Sir, yes, sir!
So 1800 is my landmark I want to get. A bit more for the fighting historian's own.
Yes, sir.
The batteries are mostly fine. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with the outcome of Stones River, really. I did not expect it going that smooth. So it was a bit annoying to watch, I think, this hyper passive AI. So
Yes, sir.
I really was puzzled myself. But yeah, this was kind of a good victory in my opinion. Yeah, I hear it, so it must be on my side, and I really don't know why it's so. I need to check up the virtual audio mixer, why it is in the stream also. So this should not be the case, but so sorry for this. I will try to, maybe I just disable Discord for the next stream to avoid stuff like this. They are fine. So we really run short of recruits. What do we... 30 points for 7,000 recruits. Maybe we need to go for this sooner or later. Let's stick to those numbers right now. Yeah, it was quite amazing. It really felt like a victory, although we just claimed the the field, but I swear to God, if it wouldn't have been bloody winter, bloody 2nd of January, then we would have pushed them on the next day. But the men had fought they stayed 3 days in the open, they fought 2 days around New Year's Eve, so they hold their ground in enemy territory. They deserve having some rest now. I know that's not the way you win wars, but it's also not usual fighting in winter. Ask Napoleon. Scribner was the one battery heavily mauled in the... And this battery was wiped. Yeah, there we need to replacement. So let's go for some 3-inch ordnance and give them... Colonel is quite good indeed.
Yes, sir.
What didn't bother you, that the sound, or that we didn't have a strong AI against us? So we are definitely running dry of funds now. Although I mostly use veteran rookies. Let's replace their rifles too with those. There are more Harper's Ferries. But let's go for those. So I prefer having the organization stuff now, although it is not that interesting to watch. But for all those who know the game, they know how important it is.
Yes, sir.
And I want to know that in the next battle, after this bloody cavalry battle, that I can bring a solid army there again. So that's okay. Mott is fine. Carroll, they didn't have any engagements, I think. Let's give a lieutenant colonel to them at least. Let's stay with some 700. Let's get a lieutenant colonel there too. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's true, but we don't know that they get a lot of action at Chancellorsville. Gladly we don't. So Chancellorsville is by any means one of the most astonishing battles that was ever fought, not only in the Civil War, but also in the whole military history, to be honest. So this crazy move from Lee, having first separating the army to leave Ewell, I think, behind on the Maurice Heights, then shifting to the west, matching Hooker there, and they're again separating his army to enable this dazzling flanking charge of Jackson, of course. Absolutely crazy if you ask me. And really not understandable. So the plan of Hooker was not bad. His move was not bad. But yeah, it totally went wrong by any means.
Yes, sir.
We are running short of troops. At least this is the 3rd Corps, so and that's it. We hit the bottom. So only 250 recruits left. So I will replenish them, I hope, after the next battle. So gladly, we in this cavalry battle, we yeah, that's true. That's perfectly true. It was totally insane, but he was the man to see such an opportunity, I think, and to catch it, and he had the subordinates to execute it, mostly. So it was, in 100 cases, it might succeed 1 or 2 times. But he catched the opportunity and he made it somehow. Totally amazing. Totally amazing. And unbelievable. So we brought up some considerable strength, at least for 1st and 2nd Corps. So what we can do now, we can just have a short look. Nansemond River, what we need there. An assault with 14, in a good fortified position. Okay, I think I remember this. Okay, and so then we pay the price again, I think. And the siege of Suffolk. What is this? Yeah, that's it. That's the big problem. He lost Jackson there. Okay, there we can defend with a strong force. So this should give us some rest. Yeah, that was the big. So I think Chancellorsville was the greatest hour of the army of Northern Virginia, and in the same turn it was its downfall, because so they achieved victory. Yeah, they got strong confidence in their abilities. Yeah, but they had horrible losses themselves, which they could not easily replace. They lost one of the most capable corps commander. And when you think that just a few weeks after Chancellorsville, Gettysburg happened, and with this overgrowing confidence after Chancellorsville, and with one of the corps commander lost, with an army just reorganized in its basic structure, and with an overgrowing confidence that let them charge at Gettysburg, where they normally maybe had chosen for a different go. Maybe it was the poisoned fruit, let's say. I think it was the poisoned fruit that let them taste the smell of a real victory in this war and made them believe they were invincible. So I think this is, I think when it comes to Chancellorsville, in my opinion, led directly to the defeat at Gettysburg. Although Gettysburg, it was not sure that they would lose. There were lots of other factors that let them lose Gettysburg. The poor reconnaissance, and, but yeah, I think if they would not have won Chancellorsville, I think they might never have lost Gettysburg. Interesting thought, and we all don't know what might happen. So, gentlemen, for today, it's enough. I've done my reorganization. I just want to have one more look at the Chancellorsville map. Look at this now, it's 72,000 soldiers. Before it were 65, so since I did all the replenishment, let me show it on the big screen. So since I did all my replenishments now, they got some 7,000 additional troops. So this is the AI that always matches with your own strength. So maybe it would not be wise. So maybe it's wiser just filling up. Now I filled up most of my army. I think it would be wiser to just fill up those portions of the army you need for the minor battles to keep their size there smaller. But anyway, now we have done it. But maybe we wait with the replenishment of 3rd Corps till short before Chancellorsville. And Chancellorsville, we have a nice defend then. Okay. And this is a story for another day. So, gentlemen, or ladies, don't know who is out there, thank you for joining in. I really appreciated your company. And oh, really? This is something I did not know. But I think it depends mostly on your reinforcement level. So on the size of your army, and then it scales to match it, which makes sense. So you don't want to fight skeleton armies all the time. Yeah, and again, look at this again. The supply is down. For the other 2 corps, it's right. So maybe because I filled them up in mid of the battle. Okay, so, but this is enough for today. So, Cynicity, thank you for being there. Thanks for the nice conversation. Have a good evening or a good day wherever you are. And I would really like if we meet again when we try to escape the trap at Chancellorsville. Alright. So, sir, have a good night and see you next time. And to all the others out there that might still be watching, goodbye and keep the spirit high.